This
code
conference
IDX,
will now be recorded.
which is the primary index here. So this is nothing but your surrogate key index. Okay, natural surrogate foreign keys. They want to call these indexes as natural surrogate foreign indexes. Okay, those are called. Now let me try to create one data entity, new item, and then let it be data entity one. And let me select the primary data source as AMA customers, and next, now if I select this one, you will get address. This is called natural key expansion. Okay, this is called natural key expansion. Got it, Prachi? This is what you are asking. Even if you don't add the data source, you will get it only if you have that indexes set. Either the replacement key or the primary index, you need to set. Then only you will get this. Okay, done. So now,
This hello.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
This AMA address is a relation name or table name.
That is a table name.
Actually, in my case, actually, I was following the same from MSDN page, and
Hmm.
they were using FM customers and FM address table.
Hmm.
And here, when I click on this, when while adding FM customers as a primary data source, when I
Hmm.
click on this arrow, so I'm getting the relation primary address, which is on the FM customers table, not the
Might be they have given that name. Okay, and depending upon the labels as well, the names will get changed. Okay, it might either show the relation or the table name, but even depending upon the labels as well, the names will change.
but still I was not able to execute the steps.
Why?
Um, I'll ask you in the WhatsApp group. I was getting one error.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, please ping me in the WhatsApp. I will answer them. Okay, now let me continue. So see here, we were discussing on LCS. Okay, but yesterday, whatever the thing that I have done, D365 June 2020 upgrade, it has processed it with error. Okay, I can say that is sometimes it's very common. Now, whatever you need to do is you need to check what is this error. Here you can see error says one. The work items could not be created for the Visual Studio Team Services project. So what it is saying is check whether the permissions are there for whatever the personal access token that you have generated or not. If you do remember, we have generated the personal access token, but I think we have given only 1 month validity. Okay, or we might not have given the full access, which is why you will get this error. And even if you get this error, the code is generated here. The code is generated. You can see the model underscore zip, you can see the metadata, migration summary, all the Excel reports are generated. Okay, actually I can show you from here, but I don't want to do that because I want to show you how that is going to happen. Okay, so now if you get this error with Visual Studio, whatever you need to do is you need to log on to Visual Studio skd365.visualstudio.com, and then you need to generate a new token. Okay, you need to generate a new token. You can see here personal access tokens, and then you need to generate a new token. I have created a D365 June, which is a new token, and I have set the validity. Okay, oh, it's on 1/9 expiry, which indicates that we have not set the properties correctly. We need to provide full access. Might be we have not given. Okay, now D365 June full access, and then again upload and run. Again upload and run. That's it. You will get it processed. So once it is processed, this is how it shows. 100% completed, and then you will see all these files. And similarly, you will see few more things. Let me show you. Now D365 June here repos file. I have not created anything, but you can see it has created a trunk and then a main and then a metadata, application foundation, application suite. This is how it will create. Similarly, releases. You can see here. If there are any patches, for that patches again metadata, application foundation, application source. And it has created AX 2012 metadata, export, all these things. This is how it will create. It will create the files. Okay. Now we will see this in detail. It will automatically check into the TFS, and similarly it will also create tasks. Let me show you. If I go to the board and work items, you can see all these tasks are related to created by whom? LCS. These are created by LCS. Okay. Now you can see 25/7/2020 9:37. Okay. This is how it will create the tasks. Now we will analyze each file. Okay. First of all, upgraded metadata. I am downloading this, and then I have AX and metadata version Excel export. Okay, it has nothing in it. This one, it has downloaded the file. This one, it has downloaded the file. This one, it has not downloaded. Nothing is there in it. Okay, done. Now, first of all, let me open these files. This contains the information about the task list. This will contain the information about the task list. Okay, now let me show you. So whatever the tasks that you have seen in TFS, you can find them here. You can find them here. These are the tasks that it has created. And similarly, you can see the task list here. This is the task list. Now actually it is has some filter. Let me clear, and you can see all the tasks. Okay, these are the ones. Okay, this is how it will show the information of the task list here. Similarly, it has generated one more file for us. Okay, let me close this, and you can see this is the second file. This is the interesting file because it will show what are the customizations we have done, what are the customizations that are in AX 2012, what are the forms, everything. Okay, overview. What did it say? Elements converted to extension 2. Overlayering elements remain. Overlayering means modifying the object of one layer in another layer. Let's say in this layer there is one standard object, you have updated in cus layer or var layer or any other layer. That will be your overlayered object. There are 32 objects with overlaying, and there are 30 elements which are automatically merged. And then there are conflicts for 6 elements. Code upgrade, code changes 6. Now you can see each and everything in detail. Export errors, conversion. You can see enum value 2880 is invalid for type this one. Okay, like this. There will be conversion errors as well as. You need to check what are those errors and we need to resolve them. Unable to convert PR underscore DA label file due to metadata for PR underscore DA cannot be created. Okay, like this it will show the conversion export errors. Okay, don't worry. Few of the errors that I have created for us for testing. Okay, for testing I have created few of the errors from my end. Okay, and then converted to extensions. Now you can see there are two elements. Now this menu item 1 is created by me itself in AX 2002. Why I have created is I would like to just show you that it will also get converted. Menu item 1, it has nothing to do. It is not a standard object. If whatever the objects that you have does not belong to the standard objects, then it will automatically convert them to extensions. It will automatically convert them to extensions. And then you can see conversion failed. Okay, none of the elements conversion is failed, so it is showing nothing. And then you can see remaining overlaying. Here as well I have created few elements here. Let me show you. You see this sales form letter method 1. This method 1 I have created, and there is one more method called validate. I have customized this validate. Now we have the customizations. Okay, we have the extensions, how to work with them. Let's see. Okay, all those things will be part of the model file. Okay, before that you can see this is the dispatch report. If it is able to add it to the current or whatever the changes it has done and whether it has ignored, all details will be shown here. Okay, like this it will generate a Excel sheets. Whatever is merged, whatever is code is upgraded. You can see menu item 1 application suite.user mode got upgraded, and then code upgrade errors, there are no errors. This is how the code upgrade Excel file will look like. And whatever the file that we are going to work the most is this one. Where is that file? This one. Let me extract this. Done. Now where is my file? This one. Okay, upgraded. And here you can see projects. Okay, 90% of the times I saw the developers, they will directly open the projects and then they will see, but they will not be able to find anything. Whatever you should do is, in this metadata, you can see application foundation and then application suite. Okay, you can see application suite. Now, simply copy these two. Okay, and then go to AWS service, package local directory. Okay, sorry, I need to copy one by one because both are different. Downloads, this one, upgraded, metadata, application foundation, copy. Now go to package local directory, application foundation. This will contain the whole classes. You also need to check this one. This contains application foundation.user model and descriptor. Okay, so you need to copy these two and then come back, paste it over here. Done. Okay, and similarly the next step is go back, metadata, application suite, copy. I don't know why that is not highlighting, and then go to application suite, paste it here. Done. Okay, now close and go to Visual Studio, close the Visual Studio project and then reopen Visual Studio, run as administrator. Yes. Now here it shows three solutions. Let's see what are those three solutions. Okay, now let me go to file and then open project or solution. Done. Upgraded solution. Let me open this. Can you see this? It has given us one solution here. Let's see what does it contain. Okay, just a second. Okay, see here now. It says in the bracket C. What is meant by this means customized. Okay. Now, when you are working with this, there are multiple ways of working with this one. From that, first of all, we need to do a comparison. In comparison, you can see compare metadata with baseline. Now you can see what are the changes and everything it will show. Okay. You will see what is the baseline, and you can see there are no changes, seems to be. No. Okay, seems like there are no changes, but there might be some differences in the label or so, which is why it has given this thing. Okay, and then now this is the table. Again, you can do the compare metadata with baseline. Now you can see this is how it will show. Save data per partition is set to no here in the baseline. Customized model, it is not there. Got it? This is how it will show the changes for us. And similarly, you will have one more compare and merge code. See here, if you want to compare and merge the code, it will merge code to the system. You can see here. Okay, and you can see this is the baseline, this is the current customization, and this is the accepted customization. But whatever you need to remember is you should never do this, because even if you do this, if it is on premises environment, it will go. But later on, if there are any updates and if there are any changes for this one, you will have a problem here. So what you need to do? You need to create a extension and then you need to work with it. Okay. Now similarly, let me check the classes, and you can see these are the classes. Now you can see there is a customization in the sales form letter, which is customized by me. You can see compare code with baseline. These are the changes. One is I wrote the info. Now this is how you will see the code. Now inside the if condition, I wrote the info. Can you work with extension? Can you do this in the extension? It's not possible. You can't do this in the extension. So obviously you need to request for a delegate. Okay, everything is not possible with extensions. Extensions have their own limitations. Okay, if you find any limitation, then you need to go with delegate. You need to request, and even for this info statement, they will not give delegate. If you have a concrete requirement, then only they will give you the delegate. Okay, I'll speak about delegates more later on. Now you can see there are only spaces. Even then it is saying you have customized this. Okay, similarly here there is a space. Okay, like this it will show you the changes. Okay, this is how it will show the changes. Okay, and next, this is a new class. This can be directly converted to extension. This is also created by me, TST code migration, new class for code migration. Can you say this? This is how we are going to work with the upgrade. What are the steps? Upgrade, compare. If those are objects that can be merged, merge. If those are standard objects, create extensions and check whether the functionality is same or not. Now you might ask me why they are allowing this in this fashion. There is one specific reason, because whenever you want to check whether your code is similar or not, you can use this customized object, and then in your own environment you can test. Okay, because if you keep this customized code as is, your code will work perfectly. Whereas same functionality is working or not, you want to test with extensions. You will do that in another environment, and you will compare. You can compare the difference in the functionality, which is why they allowed this part. And similarly, a new display menu item is created, which is menu item 1. Done. Okay, this is how we need to work with the code upgrade project. And let me show you the other solutions. Unparsable, this is upgraded, which we have seen. Unparsable, it has nothing, there are no elements in it. And then code merge. Okay, code merge, open. No, I don't want to save any changes. Done. Now you can see classes. It has given one class, and then you can compare with baseline. Okay, here there are two commented here. Here there are not. And then here this line is not there, and in the baseline it is there. That means in D365 it is there, AX 2012 it is not there. So all these things you can check, and then you can merge. Here you have the compare and merge code. compare metadata with baseline. So remember, metadata means this will show in the form of method names. But here even you need to compare everything, then only you will get the changes. Otherwise, you will not get. Okay. Please remember, if all the methods are there, if there are any new methods, then you can go with compare with metadata and then you can check. Okay. Hope it is clear. Okay. This is how you need to upgrade, and then you need to open the solutions, and then you need to decide whether to merge the code or whether to create the extension and whether to create the delegate. Then you need to move forward. Hope it is clear. Okay. I will move forward now. Let me open our Amazon SMS. And I will give a minute of time. Please let me know if you have any questions in the code upgrade part. If there are no questions, then I will move to the next topic.
Hi, Kumar.
Go ahead.
Yes, actually, my question is something different, but how can we find out the customized data on a solution or on an on-premise environment?
Customized data means
Means what are the tables or what are the entities added later after installation or after?
that you have the model, na? You will create a
on-
separate model. You can check in that model because
only
you
through the
can't. Yeah,
only through the model, or if they add something in the existing model.
that's what here. If you want to identify the new entities and everything that is added, you can't add them to the system model. Is that right? You can't add them to the application suite, application foundation. You can only add to your new model. So here you need to go to this Amazon in this case. In your case, it will be some other model where you can find all the extensions and everything.
Okay, and other thing is, what are the different ways to upload data, like customer master or vendor master?
Okay. I
It
showed you
only
using data entities. Is that right?
yes,
I
yes.
showed you using data entities, and that is the way. Even if you go anywhere, that is the way with which we will add data. Let me show you. We have created data entity for address, na? Now I will show
Yes.
you the other way. Because most of the times if the people are asking, oh, is there any other way? Then I will show you.
Okay.
Just a second, let it load.
Okay.
Now see here, we have created a screen for address table. Is that right? Let me go to shopping management system and then address information. So if you have created the data entities, there is one benefit. You can see the Excel icon, office icon here. If you select this, it will show you a few of the options. Let's see, just a second. Okay, and now you have the entity. If you have the entity, then only you can use this, otherwise not. Okay, you can open AMA address entity. And then if you want to download, you can download the file. Now this is your template. Now this is your template. And in your template, if you want to import or export the data, you can do that by using the Excel add-in. Okay, you can open the file. Let me allow.
Will it be same if the table or data entity is already available? If, for
Yeah,
example,
it should be
customer
same. Okay.
for the customer master, first we need to create the entity, data entity, or
Yes,
it will
if
be
it is there, not needed. You need to check. Let's say you are adding any customized fields, then that would be a big deal, nah? If it is there, it is fine. Otherwise, you need to create. Okay. Now you can see it has given the information of zip code only. Okay. It has given only one column. Whereas if you select this, you will have one more thing called export to Excel. Okay. And you can use this file as well to import the data. Yeah. This is one more way. This is one more way. And in these two ways, you can use anything. Okay. Here as well, you will have the add-in. Okay. If you go to add-ins, there will be add-in called Dynamics 365 add-in. Okay. 1 second. I'm not getting it here. Where did it go? Custom toolbars. Home add-ins, add-ins. At one place we can use add-ins. Yeah, here. See all. This is the add-in that you can add. Microsoft Dynamics. It's not giving the full name. Okay, this is the one. Microsoft Dynamics Office add-in. You can add this add-in and you can import or export the data. If the people ask, I want to work with Excel, because people will be interested in this. Okay, most of the times people will say, I will insert in the Excel and I want to get the data. Okay, and you can do this, and you can add the server information here, and then you can get it. Server URL. What is the server URL? This is my server URL. Okay. I never tried this on the VM, but let me check whether it works or not. Give me a second. Because this URL is local. This is not a public URI. So as we are on the local machine, I think that might work. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Good. Okay. As we are on the local machine, it worked. Whereas this Excel is on the other place now, it is not going to work with this URL. Whereas coming to the public URI, the Azure machine, it will work from anywhere. It will work from anywhere. And this is the other place where you can do that. You can add the table, and then from the data entity, and you can do that. Yeah, it will list out everything here. You can see. Can I say this? AMA sales, AMA sales, AMA customer, AMA address. So this is the second way that people used to do. Okay, and you can see this is the primary key here and mandatory field and remain this. And if you want to select all the fields, you can select everything. You can say add and then done. Yes. The data could not be added in that location. Please ensure. Okay, here already you have the data. So it is saying I cannot add the data. Okay. Whereas if you take any other sheet, it will add the data. So this is the second way of importing the data. But
What is the
the
first way?
people, data migration, you have already seen that
Yes.
from the front end
Migration.
I showed you. Huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Got it? So that
Yes,
is up
yes.
to you whether you want to go with the Excel sheet and then Dynamics AX add in, or whether you want to go with the next way. Okay. That's all up to you. You can decide by yourself and depending upon the customer requirement. Okay. Done. Now see here. Up to now we have discussed all these things. Today we will see about how to consume the service and how to work with the C# code. Okay. And if the time permits, we will see services and service groups. Okay. Now see here. I want to add one more C# project. Click on the add button, new project, and then I want to create a C# project here. Okay. I want to create a C# class library here. I will call this as consume service. I will call it as consume service. Done. Okay, this is my new C# class, and in this C# class I am going to write a code. Okay, in this C# class we need to write a code. So what is the kind of code that we need to write? Let's say there is a third party service. There is a third party service, and that third party service you want to consume it on the Dynamics 365. Okay, you want to consume that third party service on the Dynamics 365. How to do that? Can you do directly on Dynamics AX? No, yeah, it will not allow. You can't do that directly on Dynamics AX in the X++. Even if you need to do, you need to write some code called managed code. What you need to do? You need to write a code called managed code. So that's up to you whether you want to write the managed code and whether you want to directly work inside the Dynamics 365. But if you're writing the managed code, I will suggest you one thing. Don't go with managed code in X++. Instead of that, write that piece of code in C#. Okay? So I will call this class as consume service. This is my class name. Okay? Consume service. Now, let me check some web service. Okay? I will call this as web service arithmetic. Let's take arithmetic web service online. Okay, I got calculator. Good. So this is the web service that they have provided, and they have 4 methods: add, divide, multiply, subtract. Okay, good. Copy this. This is their web service as it ends with AXMX. Now let me go to references. Click on the add service reference, and here you can paste this over here. Click on the go. It will list out all the methods. Done. Okay, this has 4 operations. Okay, I will call this as calculator. I will call this as calculator. Click on OK button. Now it got added. Good. Okay, it has added to the references. Oh, service reference calculator. It has added. Now here, what I will do is I will say using consume service dot calculator. Done. Okay, and in this I will create one method. You can create static or instance, whatever you want to create, you can create. I will create public. I will make class as well public. Okay, it's public already. Static calculator, and what I want to return, I will say return rent. Okay, inside this, let me take int a, comma, int b. Now, how to work with the service? Working with the service in Dynamics 365 is bit different. Okay, working with service is bit different. First of all, we need to create a binding. I don't want to go with internals of this because this is a C# code. Okay, where binding equal to new system dot service model dot, we have something called basic HTTP binding. We need to first of all create a binding, and we need to set up this binding with whatever we want to use. Okay, next step. What is the endpoint address? What is the endpoint address? Where endpoint address equal to. Okay, so what is the endpoint address? To define the endpoint address, we have a class called endpoint address. Okay, we have a class called endpoint address. Okay, so obviously it will not show, don't worry, it's there in some other this one, and our endpoint address is, this is the one. Copy and then paste. Okay, this is my endpoint address. Now let me see why it is not showing. Oh, I need to add the namespace for this. 1 second. I don't remember what is the namespace of this. Service model system dot web. Okay, this should be system dot web, and then let me right click, quick actions and refactoring. Okay, it's system dot service model. Okay, system dot service model. Now I have added the endpoint address. So after adding the endpoint address, you need to create a binding using your client, using your client. Okay, now we have the namespace called calculator, and then use this calculator dot. You can see there are a lot of things: binding, endpoint address, we got everything good. And then where is the client here? Okay, this is taken as class. This calculator, it is treating it as class. Okay, instead of confusing, let me take from the namespace. Consume service dot, oh sorry, again here as well, the namespace. Okay, only one thing here, I have given the same names. Here you can see consume service, so I have modified it. Okay, consume service dot calculator dot, here you can see calculator soap. This is an interface, this is an interface, this is the client. We need to create the client here. You need to say client equal to new calculator soap client in the bracket. There are multiple things. You can give endpoint configuration name, remote address, configuration name, remote address. You can give binding, remote address. Here, you need to provide the binding and then remote address. Okay, so this is my binding variable. Paste it over here, comma. This is my endpoint address, which is the remote address. Paste it over here, semicolon. Now you can use client dot add, subtract, mul. You will have everything here. A comma B, A comma B. Done. We are adding here. Okay. Here, if you want to add one more variable, you can do. Otherwise, you can write return int p equal to A comma B, and then you can say return C. Done. Okay. Now, how to add this to my solution? First of all, let me do a rebuild of this one. So once it is rebuilt, we'll take the next steps. Let it rebuild. Done. Rebuild all succeeded. Now references. Go to references here. Add reference. You have the projects consume service. Click on OK button. It will add it. Okay. So this is how we need to work with C# project in Dynamics 365. And if you have the DLL, you can select browse and then you can add the DLL. Okay. If you have the project directly inside your solution, you can add that project. If you have the DLL, you need to use the browse option and then you need to add the DLL. So like this, there are different ways of working. Okay, there are different ways of working with the solution. Okay, and you need to decide that whether you want to use in this fashion or whether you want to go in some different fashion. That's all up to you. Just a second, it's loading. And in the meantime, if you have any questions up to now, you can let me know. Okay, now let me go create a new class here. Click on the new item, and then let me create a new runnable class. And let me call this as tst consume service. Oh, it's sorry. So actually, when we are working now, we will use tst as a prefix to say that it is a test class. I was habituated. Okay, AMA service consume. It's creating. Let's wait for a minute. Okay, now here simply you can write int value equal to consume service dot calculator. To call the static methods, we need to use colon colon. Oh, why it is not coming here? Oh, sorry. This is this namespace. Okay, actually here you got the client. 1 second, let me check. No, I'm doing one small thing wrong here. I need to use consume service web. Okay, dot consume service web colon colon. Okay, and here you will have calculator consume, and then in the bracket you need to specify values 10, 20. Save. Now let me add a breakpoint here, and I think I have set sync to true. I will remove the sync. I will set it to false. Click on apply. Okay, and then set this as the startup object. Run. Okay, now we will see how to debug the Visual Studio Code as well in Dynamics 365. Remember, whenever you are working with the DLL, you can't debug the C# code. When you have created a project and then you have added it, then you can debug the C# code. Okay. Actually, there is a way. If you add the DLL as well, there is a way, but that's a different thing altogether. So let's see whether it works or whether it fails. So this is how we are going to consume the external web service, work with the C# code in Dynamics 365. Okay, and related to OData, already I told you with Power BI, you can work in the similar fashion. Services and service groups, I don't think time will be sufficient today, so we will discuss them tomorrow.
Can we see an example of OData service? Because I think it's
Already we have seen here. Already we have seen.
in the C#.
In the C# you want? Okay. Let me check. Okay, because I need to see if it works. Then I will show you.
Okay.
But can we consume some JSON data file into this so that we can understand how to parse the data? I'm
That I
not
will
sure
show
about
you.
this.
1 second, Kamal. That part I will show you. When we are working with
Okay.
services and service groups, na, I will
Sorry.
create one service in Dynamics 365. Let's take the example of address service, and I will consume that address service and I will show you. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
That part is there. Don't worry. Here, just I would like to explain how to consume the external service.
Because if you want to modify an entity or a table from the C# code, from some web service, we need to
You
use
would
OData.
not be able to modify the entity. You would not be able to modify the entity. Okay.
Or
If you want to
any
modify
value.
the entity, if you want to send the data to the recurrence integration scheduler, then you can do that. Okay. But I have not tried in this particular version of VM. Let me try that. Okay. I will try that today, and then if it works, I will show you.
Okay.
Because we need to generate the key in the Azure. Anyways, I will show you the same way you can do with the OData services as well. It will not be any different. I will show you that part. Okay.
Okay.
Because that my plan is to discuss today, but there is no time. The next topic is same thing. When we are discussing services and service groups, na, I will show you the JSON itself, how to work with the OData REST API.
So you cannot, use external services without C#.
If you want to consume in Dynamics AX, you can do that. Again, you need to use managed code. Managed code means writing C# code in X++. Okay. So instead of doing that, the best way is to consume the service in C# and call that method in D365. Okay. You can do that in X++ as well. That's what I told you in the beginning. Using the X++ code, you can't do that, but you need to use managed code. Okay.
Did you show us the Power BI to use X data, like from X
Yeah,
tables to
it's
get Power
already
BI
done.
reports?
I showed it. I created an aggregated data entity, and then I created how to work with the Power BI and how to integrate with D365. All is done. That part is already done. Okay. Now it is hitting the breakpoint. Let it hit. Okay, now you can see it is going into the consume. If you press F11 over here, it will directly go to the Visual Studio Code. Okay, it will directly go to the C# class. Now it is creating the binding, setting up the endpoint address, and then it called the endpoint address and it has created the client. Now it is calling the add method. It is summing up the values, and then it is returning the result as 30. This is how we need to work with third-party external services in Dynamics 365. Now the same value will get returned in the value here. Got it? This is how we need to work with external services in Dynamics 365. Okay, and actually there is one more thing. If you want to call the SOAP client, you can write the managed code directly in X++. That you can try it off. Okay, it's similar. Whatever we will do is we will write the same piece of code, these 4 lines of code. Instead of calling this method, we will write these 4 lines of code in this XPP file. Okay, but that is not recommended. That's a bad practice. If you have the C# and you can embed the C# project, then you need to use C# project. Okay, if you remember first what I have done, I have used to consume service dot. I got everything. That is how we will work with C# classes, but that should not be done direct way. Okay, that should not be written directly in the X++ code. You need to work in the C# and then you need to write it here. Okay, done. Now the next topic would be on the custom service consumption. Okay, so I'm not going to work with explain you about the SOAP here. I will just tell you how it will form. I will discuss about the REST API. Okay, if I discuss REST API, you can use it when you are working with the JSON file. Okay, because nowadays we are working with JSON, not XML. XML is gone long back. Now we are using only JSON. Okay, so I think here we have discussed on the code migration, the compare tool. Okay, these two were discussed. And trace parser, I think we are facing some issue. Okay, we will see that later on. Yep, now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any queries. If there are no queries, I will end session for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I shared that error message.
1 second, let me check.
The error message is the data source must have at least one relation. Actually, the problem is when we add the data source in the wizard, that should be the table. You were right, not the relation. But in my case, I'm getting the relation name.
Actually, I need to see in your environment because I don't know what exactly you're doing here.
No,
Okay.
actually, I'm doing the same steps as per the MSDN page.
That's what, okay, because you're doing the same steps as per the MSDN page. That is fine. But what I'm saying is you have added 2 data sources. Okay. And if I see here, it says FM lab customer entity, metadata, data sources, primary address, relations. So what it is saying is inside the primary address, you have the relations node. Can you go to the, show me the properties? Did you set relations to true? Use relations, you have set it to
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay, but I think there is some missing thing over there, the relation. Okay, do one thing, add a relation, remove that relations to set that relations to no, and then add a relation on the data source and then check. Okay, because if you check that way, we will understand whether relations are missing or not.
Actually, as per the MSDN page, I should get that FM address table when I click on the root data, primary data source. But
That
why
act
I'm getting primary address?
1 second. Because that is a sample given by the Microsoft, so we don't know whether they made it correctly or what is the issue in it. Let me check. Is it natural key expansion MSDN? Okay, D365. Let me add it here. Okay, is this the one?
Yeah, this one also here they have discussed some is mapped property. This also I'm not able to find.
That's what Prachi. If you see here, this belongs to 26th October 2017. Okay, so in each and every version there will be a lot of changes because this data entity is a new concept. So in each version, what are the changes that they have done? We need to check that first of all. Okay, otherwise if you ask me whether show me this is mapped property, na, if you ask me where it is exactly, I also need to go and check. Okay, then only I will get to know whether it is there or not. Okay, let me do one thing. Instead of working with
The
those,
the link I've shared to you.
yeah, that link belongs to 2017. Okay,
No, the one which I'm following to execute the steps.
where is which one is that? Can you ping me?
Yeah, already pinged you.
Okay, 1 second. Then let me take this link. Okay, key concepts, business problem. In this section, you must create a data entity. This entity will be used to manage master data through import. Okay, same primary data source, FM customer, FM address table. Okay, fleet management, new item, FM lab customer entity, master, and here he got FM address table.
Yeah, they are getting this table and I'm getting the relation which is primary address.
Okay, good. Let me do one thing. I will create a new project for you. Hey, remaining people, if you can drop off here. Okay, let me create it so that we will check what I am getting. Project, Dynamics 365, finance and operations. Let me call it as FM lab. Okay, this one he said to update to fleet management. Okay, apply. Okay, and then let me click on the add button, new item, and I need to go to data model and a data entity. Click on the add button. Here he took the initial, the first table as FM customer. Okay, okay, click on the next button. Okay, this is what you are saying. You got primary address. Okay,
Yes.
1 second. Okay, everything is selected. Click on the finish. It has created a view, staging, and the data entity. Open. And you're saying you got the error. with this one. And one more thing is you asked about is mapped field, and here as per the information it should be in the properties of the field.
I've checked everywhere. There is no isMap property.
There might be somewhere, we might be missing somewhere, or that might be removed. That is also possible. Okay, because in each and every version there will be a lot of updates, so we can't say where exactly it is located, and that is very old. That belongs to that is 3 years old. Okay, and now if you do a rebuild, you got the error. Okay, let me do a rebuild, because version to version there will be a lot of changes. And let me check when we got this tutorial. This belongs to, oh, this belongs to 2020. This is in the latest version. Okay, okay, this belongs to 26th May 2020. Okay, now the next thing I need to check is in the LCS which version we are using.
Actually,
Because I
as
would
per
like to
that
know
page,
whether our VM belongs to this version or not, because that tutorial seems to be the latest version. You can see here 26th May 2020. We started our sessions in June, because in each and every version, as I told you, there are changes. So this change we need to check in which version it is correctly working. VHT. We are on 13th April, yeah. We are on the version which is on 13th April. Okay. So there is a possibility of having bugs as well. But for me, it got completed. Can you see this? I think which version you are using? And for me, it has said use relations to know.
yeah, I'm using same 10.09.
And it has created an address table for me. But you did not get the relation. There is version difference. Or you
Actually,
might be doing something wrong.
I was using my model only,
No, no.
not fleet management.
Means you have added it as a referenced package.
Yes.
Okay. If you have added it as a referenced package, then actually you might be missing some references over there. That's the only possibility. Okay. And one more thing is, I have done the same thing. I have not done anything else. Whatever is given in the MSD, and I have done the same thing. Because this is what it does. It has added the FM address table relation, and it is working fine. Okay. You want me to do that in my model? And try it once?
I'll try with the fleet management model.
Okay, you try that and then ping me on WhatsApp. I will try on my model and check. Okay, then we will get to know whether it
Yeah.
is working fine or not. Is it fine?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks all for the session. Let's meet again tomorrow, same time. Thank you all. Bye.